We're kicking off a series which is called The Free State of Florida. So we thought, who better to bring on other than Chance? He runs a group called Recall Florida. Share what your group really is about.
My name is Chance Johnmeyer. I am the founder of Recall Florida. We started Recall Florida in 2020, and the citizens just had this sense of frustration about what was going on within their government. I like to create solutions to problems, so I started asking a lot of questions, and someone mentioned the option of recall. I want to know, why can't you just remove these elected officials that were corrupt?
You've taken this to the state legislation and you can't get it passed. You brought it to them how many times?
We brought the Recall Florida initiative to them 4 times. So we've had the ability to recall corrupt elected officials in charter counties and municipalities since 1968. So it's been around a long time. Here's the problem with that. Non-charter counties that do not have the right to recall those corrupt county officials. A lot of folks say, well, just become a charter county. Well, a lot of counties have tried to do that, and people don't really want that extra layer of government.
Why do you think the lawmakers are afraid of giving voters the power to recall?
In 2023, when our recall bill went the farthest, HCR 131 passed every committee in the House. It passed the first 2 committees in the Senate before our Senate sponsor, Jay Collins, said this bill's not going to go any farther.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me that they didn't want the citizens to have that voice. What you're doing is not saying we want to just be able to recall. You're saying we want the citizens of Florida to be able to have a voice on if they want to recall.
We want all of the citizens in the state of Florida to have a voice. In our Declaration of Independence, it says our elected officials rule according to our consent. So we believe that if they lose our consent, we should be able to remove them. Our Constitution says in the First Amendment that the citizens have a right to petition their government for a redress of grievances. So that's what we see the recall petition as a simple petition for redress of grievances, kind of like a mulligan, if you will. We voted this guy into office. He's shown himself to be a profiteer, friend of the lobbyists, a friend of the corporations, and not a friend of the people. So we believe that we should be able to remove him. And the Florida Senate said, we don't care how you feel about that. We're not moving this bill forward. We went to the lobbyists that were lobbying against us, and we found out something very interesting with the lobbyists. We had the Florida Supervisor of Elections that was lobbying against us. We had the Florida Association of Counties that was lobbying against us. We had the court clerks and comptrollers lobbying against us. We had the Property Appraisers Association lobbying against us. So then the next logical question is why? Why are these umbrella organizations that were created for our elected officials, why were they lobbying against us? And what we saw it was, in essence, was they were protecting the corrupt. You know, Florida's a corporation, right? One day I said, I'm going to look that up. Florida is indeed a corporation, registered under Dun & Bradstreet, which is an umbrella organization for all corporations across the United States. As most of us know, corporations are first beholden to who?
Their shareholders.
Shareholders. The Florida Supervisor of Elections lobbied against Recall Florida. The Florida Supervisor of Elections is supported by Ramba Consulting. They use Ramba Consulting. Florida Supervisor of Elections use Ramba Consulting lobbyists to stand up on their behalf. So you've got Ramba Consulting lobbying for the Supervisor of Elections. They're lobbying against Recall Florida. So if Recall Florida was in play, if it was in power in every county, and the citizens did their homework and they dug deep and they found out that there was an issue with a Supervisor of Elections, the citizens through the recall process could remove them. What recall does is it messes up the game. If you think about Florida as a whole, what is Florida's main moneymaker? Tourism and development. So if you stop the Board of County Commissioners, who are putting everything in order to keep the money flowing up to the top, and then you have the Supervisor of Elections, if you're recalling them, and they will say theoretically they can't position the proper people in office in the individual counties, you mess up the whole game.